Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Flat Rock Field here in Flat Rock, Michigan, where the Lake Erie Monarchs, who are 7-13 on the season, look to sweep the Galleon Graders and pick up their first series victory of the year. The Graders coming in at 9-10. I'm Kevin Peel. Thanks so much for tuning in to this broadcast tonight here on MonarchsRadio.com. Monarchs got a low-scoring victory last night by a final of 2-1. As Jack Heisman was able to pick up his first victory, 6 strong innings on the mound, and had 6 strikeouts, 4 walks, allowed just 2 hits and 1 earned run. And Nathan Haw from Toledo also picked up his first save last night. Now the Monarchs will turn to Dylan McInerney, who looks to notch another victory for the Monarchs, who are playing a little better baseball lately. They come in winners of 3 of their last 5. While the Galleon Graders, they are in a bit of a slump. They have lost 6 in a row. It is a beautiful but hot 4th of July evening for baseball here at Flat Rock Field. The fans have taken their seats. Austin Hathaway has stepped in on the left side, and the righty Dylan McInerney is just about ready to go here from Flat Rock Field. And the first pitch is a fastball that is called strike in the upper part of the zone. 7:06, the starting time tonight, just a minute late. McInerney comes home, and it's high once again, this time for a ball, 1-1. Austin Hathaway, the left-handed batter, moving up in the lineup tonight for the Galleon Graders. 1-1, and slipped out of the hand of McInerney. Make it 2 balls and a strike. Hathaway off to a .227 start at the plate. He has 3 home runs and 13 RBIs. 10 for his first 44 this year for the Graders. 2-1, low and inside. And the count is now run to 3-1 as Dylan McInerney starts off his first batter and not the most strongest of the lights. 3-1, and a fly ball hit towards right center field. Coming over is O'Loughlin. He will put it away. Out number 1. And we are underway. The first out of the game, a fly out by Hathaway. Let's look at that defensive alignment for the Monarchs. The battery tonight of McInerney and Jake Gaudreau behind the plate. In the outfield, Watson, O'Loughlin, and Nwogu left to right. Head and Prater guard the left side at third and short. Weiler and Slattery second and first, respectively. And Slider misses outside. Ball 1 to the shortstop, Christopher Jordan. Jordan hitting .323, 4 RBIs this year. 1-0. And it's at the knees for strike 1 to Jordan. Gets the start at shortstop, as he did last night. Slides from first to second in the batting order. And the 1-1. And a fly ball hit to left field. Watson starts back, now has to come in, and he's underneath it. Puts it away, a one-handed grab. 2 flyouts to start out this game against Dylan McInerney. Scoreless contest very early on. And here's Todd Sikowski, starting center fielder today for the Galleon Graders. Moves down a spot in the batting order. Bat right-handed against McInerney. And he deals low and outside with a breaking ball, 1-0. Sikowski also swatting over 300 at .318. No home runs and 6 ribbies. 1-0. Over the outside edge at the knees. Strike 1 to Todd Sikowski. Umpires for tonight, Frank Barquette calling the balls and strikes. 1-1 bounces in for ball 2. And at the base paths is Robert Lothian. And he is going to be visiting Flat Rock Field a lot in the future. He was calling me out to make sure I knew exactly who he was and what his name was. 2-1 fastball, swing and a miss for strike 2. Of course, he was joking, but still always funny. He was saying, "Do not screw this up," I quote. And he'll be listening back to this. 2-2, swing and a miss. Sikowski strikes out, and Dylan McInerney turns in a 1-2-3, top of the first inning. We're underway quickly here in Flat Rock. No scores. The Monarchs come to bat for the first time. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Galleon and Lake Erie getting set for the bottom of the first inning here on July 4th evening. No score as the Monarchs are ready to come to the plate for the first time. Let's take a quick peek at that starting batting order. It goes as follows. The top three of Will Prater, Jordan Nwogu, and Jake Goodrow. Sean O'Keefe, Casey Slattery, and Bobby Head, the middle three in the order. And Keegan Watson, Casey O'Laughlin, and Kelpie Weiler round out the order today for the Monarchs. Galleon Graders looking to snap the 6-game slide here today. And, of course, we've been mentioning the Monarchs playing a little better baseball lately. Will Prater will lead things off, getting the start at shortstop today for the Monarchs, and he is opposed by right-hander Brandon Schlick. Gets the ball today for the Galleon Graders. Prater from Western Carolina. First pitch from Schlick. Fastball off the plate outside for ball one. Will Prater appearing in his 9th game for the Monarchs here in 2018, 1-0, misses down low, 2-0. So I was behind a year for a quick second. Will Prater is 6 for his first 31. He's driven in a run. And the 2-0 from Schlick. As a chopper hit towards second, a high chopper. Michael Rodriguez waiting on it. Fields chest high. His throw to first is in time for out number one. Speaking of Michael Rodriguez and the Galleon Graders, let's go through the defensive alignment. De La Cruz in left, Sikowski in center, Hathaway is in right. Left side of the infield, Reimold and Jordan, third and short. Rodriguez and De La Cruz, second and first baseman. And then Schlick and Andrews is the battery tonight for the Graders. Here comes Jordan Nwogu. Michigan Wolverine stands in on the right side. And the pitch to him is a ground ball that gets through past the diving Christopher Jordan into left field for a base hit. And Nwogu gets the first hit of the ball game for either side. Monarchs will look for the first tally as well here tonight. No score. Bumping up that average is Nwogu, now 16 for 56 this year, approaching 280 with a homer and 10 driven in. Here comes Boston College's Jake Goodrow. Left-handed batter against the righty Schlick. And the pitch is a curveball over the inside corner for strike one. Goodrow this year swatting 242, 2 homers and 4 RBIs. His home runs this year have not been cheapies. They've been hit a long way. Trying to throw over there at first is Nwogu. He's back in safely. Nwogu 6 for 7, stealing bases this year. He has good speed. And another throw over to first. Nwogu back in. Here's some fireworks off in the distance, and you'll probably hear quite a few of those in the background tonight on this elegant 4th of July evening. The wind also blowing. 0-1 at the knees. Strike two. Nothing that Goodrow could do with that one. Jake has scored 5 runs as well, appearing in his 14th game. Starting catcher tonight for Dylan McInerney. Pitch is on the way. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. High fastball. Goodrow goes down. First strikeout of the game for Brandon Schlick. And there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the first. No score, man at first. Here's Sean O'Keefe. Gets another start for the Monarchs, but in a different role, designated hitter tonight. He's appeared in now all 21 games this year for the Monarchs out of Western Michigan. Another throw to first, and sliding back in safely is Nwogu. Sean O'Keefe has a team-high 373 batting average with a homer and 14 RBIs. 22 for his first 59 at the plate. And has scored 10 runs this year. The offering to him, and swinging a chopper down the third base line, fielded by Schlick, has some time, throws to first, and he got him. So one pitch is all it takes. Sean O'Keefe with the chopper. He's out of there, and the Monarchs will not get a run in after Jordan Nwogu's 1-out single. We're through 1 here in Flat Rock. No score. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Jacob Reimold, Juan De La Cruz, Michael Rodriguez, middle of the order for the Galleon Graders in the top half of the second. Scoreless affair. Dylan McInerney's first pitch of the inning. There's a strike over the inside edge. No balls and a strike. Dylan McInerney turned in a 1-2-3 top of the first. And another one misses outside this time. The slide piece, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jacob Reimold hitting .316, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. And just got the outside corner at the knees. Almost unhittable for Reimold, 1-2. Very toasty evening here in Flat Rock on the 4th. 1-2, fouled away on a line, first base side, still 1-2. Highs were in the low to mid 90s in southeast Michigan today. It's 89 degrees right now at first pitch. 1-2, and it's just above the belt. Able to lay off was Reimold, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sunny conditions, that heat index almost reaching triple figures, 97. 2-2. And a chopper off the plate will go foul. Over by Bobby Head at third. 2-2. And it says the winds are blowing at 8 miles an hour. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. They're gusting quite a bit more at times here. But fundamentally, south-southeast at 8. So the ball will blow out towards left tonight. And a fly ball hit deep to center field. Chasing it, O'Laughlin. Will he get there? And he cannot. It will one-hop the fence. Reimold on his way to second. He has extra bases. And a leadoff double for Galleon to begin the second inning. That ball was smoked off the bat. And if it was in a different part of the ballpark, it was probably out of here. But instead, it's just a double, but a good start to the inning for the Graders. Reimold picks up his second double of 2018. Here comes Juan De La Cruz. First baseman today for the Graders. De La Cruz on the right side against the righty McInerney. And the pitch, bunt shown, and it's put down. That will roll foul towards the third base dugout of the Monarchs. No balls and a strike. Juan De La Cruz hitting .268, 3 homers and 16 RBIs. And the 0-1, and Juan will foul it away. No balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, a man at second. No score here in the second. Juan trying to get something going for Galleon. fell behind in the second inning of last night's game. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him for strike three. 3-pitch strikeout for Dylan McInerney, his second punch out of the contest. And there's now one down here in the second. Juan De La Cruz has had a rough series now to start. 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Look to do better next time. Here's Michael Rodriguez. Slides down a spot in the batting order, switching with Juan De La Cruz. Here it comes, and it's a curveball low and in. Ball 1 to Michael Rodriguez. Starting second baseman, hitting .237, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. Struck out a team-high 18 times for the Graders in 2018. 1-0. And it slides outside. A fastball missing the mark by McInerney, 2-0. Dylan McInerney, upcoming junior at Wayne State University in Detroit. 6'3", 205 pounds. Tall righty. 2-0. And a liner towards left field. That's dropping for a hit in front of Watson. Getting the stop sign as he gets to third base is Reimold. At first base is Michael Rodriguez. And it's men on the corners with one down here in the top of the second. And the Graders close to breaking on the board first. Michael Rodriguez gets his first hit of the series. 0 for 3 effort last night with a walk. Here comes Jose De La Cruz. Starting in left field today for Galleon. The pitch. And low and in. Gaudreau sliding towards De La Cruz. Was able to backhand the baseball and keep it in front of him. De La Cruz appearing in just his 7th game hitting. 7 for 21 start this year with 4 RBIs. Not bad. 1-0 fastball is high and away. And it's 2-0 on Jose De La Cruz. Also has a sac bunt on the resume. See what he tries to do to get a run home here. 2-0 to the lefty hitter. Fastball high. And McInerney behind now 3-0. McInerney's record at 1-1. Earned run average at 5.72. 4th start of the summer. 3-0. And it's in the dirt for ball 4. Blocked by Gaudreau to keep the base runners standing pat. Rodriguez up to second. And Jose De La Cruz goes to first base. That's the first free pass allowed by Dylan McInerney. And just like that, the bases are loaded with one down here in the top of the second. And Galleon is very close to trying to break on the board first here. A double by Reimold started it off. Strikeout of Juan De La Cruz, but then a single and a walk have put McInerney in this situation. He'll deal with the number 8 man in the order, Vince Donato. Started at first last night. He is the designated hitter tonight for the Graders. Donato hitting .231, 6 RBIs. 19th game he's played in. He's only missed 1, if you're doing the math, for Galleon. Strike with a slide piece from McInerney, 0-1. Righty versus righty matchup. Monarchs could get a ground ball to get out of the inning. 0-1, low and away. Missing the mark. It's a ball and a strike. Play at any base. Jacob Reimold, not a ton of speed over there at third. 1-1. And a chopper at the plate will go foul off towards the first base on deck circle on that side. 1-2 with 1 out in the second. No score. Bases loaded for Galleon. Graders starting off the season 5-0. Then over the next 8 games, 4-4 for this recent slide. Both players will step out. Donato out of the batter's box. McInerney off the rubber. Now he toes the slab, does McInerney. And the 1-2. Way high. Gaudreau was able to somehow get his glove in front of that ball and not let it sail to the backstop. Put an asterisk next to that one. 2-2. Donato with the red shoes on. A little bit of a contrast to the rest of the Graders' gray uniform when they are on the road. The break even. Rung him up, strike 3, and down goes Donato with a perfectly placed liner over the outside edge and at the knees. 3 strikeouts for McInerney. That's his second of the inning. Bases remain loaded, but there's 2 outs. No score. Cole Andrews now the catcher will bat. Andrews appearing in his 10th game. 3 RBIs for Andrews. 3 for 21 start, which is a 143 clip. Strike, outside corner. Good pitch from McInerney, 0-1. Still play at any base. Deep breath from Dylan, and he comes home. And a little chopper bounced off home plate. Heading foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Heading towards Neil Schaffner. First-year skipper for the Galleon Graders. Graders in their 4th year of existence. Year number 1 was back in 2015. 0-2. Low and outside. Testing that area was McInerney, but it was just a bit outside. And it's 1-2. Number 9 man in the order in a big spot. 1-2. Outside again. Same pitch. Level things at 2-2. Tense top of the 2nd inning. Jose De La Cruz at first. Michael Rodriguez at second. Jacob Reimold at third. Andrews has the bat near his right shoulder. 2-2, well outside. From 0-2 to full. And McInerney's tried the same pitch 3 straight times. Who's going to bend? Dylan McInerney comes set and delivers. And a chopper off the inside of his ankle. Andrews stays alive. General Manager Jim DeSena bringing some more baseballs to home plate umpire Frank Barquette. Hard to believe, year number 20 this year for the Monarchs in the Northwest Ohio, Southeast Michigan area. Jim's been an integral part of moving this team up to Flat Rock. 5th year Monarchs have played baseball here. 3-2. And a ground ball that goes back up the middle and into center for a base hit. That's going to get Galleon on the board first. Coming up with it, O'Loughlin, but it's too late. 2-run single for Cole Andrews to drive in a pair of runs. RBIs 4 and 5 on the season. And the Galleon Graders are on the board first. They lead it 2-0 here in the top of the 2nd inning. Well, that was a solidly hit ball back up the middle. Staying back on it nicely was Cole. And he was able to just drive it back through the box. Jose De La Cruz in the process moves up to third base, so there's still men at the corners. But Galleon is in the lead. And strike 1, foul ball by Austin Hathaway. No balls and a strike. Hathaway flew out to center, his first time up here tonight. 0-1. Well outside, Gaudreau able to get his glove in front of it, spearing it near the right-handed batter's box, 1-1. McInerney has pitched 11 innings coming into this game. 8 strikeouts, 4 walks, 13 hits allowed. 1-1 ground ball foul down the first base line. Just past the first base coach, 1-2. This is his first appearance since last Wednesday against Southern Ohio. Took the loss in Athens that day a week ago. 1-2. And a little nubber foul to the right of home. 4 innings, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. 8 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Faced a season-high 22 batters in that game to Dylan McInerney while accepting the setback. 1-2. And there's a wave and a miss for strike 3. So the Monarchs do get out of the jam, but not unblemished. 2-run single with 2 outs for Cole Andrews has the Galleon Graders on the board. Middle of the second, 2-0 Graders. This is Monarchs baseball. Lake Erie Monarchs still have a long way to go on this homestand this week. 4 more contests, 2 to come Thursday, which is tomorrow, and Friday against the Irish Hills Leprechauns before welcoming in the Hamilton Joes for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. 7:05 starts the next 3 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And on Sunday, a special 5:35 start. We hope you'll come on out to Flat Rock Field and enjoy the ball game with us. Monarchs trying to come back early in this one. They trail 2-0 on the Cole Andrews 2-run single in the last half frame. Casey Slattery will try and get the events of the second off on the right foot for the Monarchs. Starting first baseman today, facing Brandon Schlick. First pitch is a fastball outside, ball 1. Schlick had to throw just 8 pitches in that first inning to get through it without allowing a run. Worked around a hit. 1-0. Just below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Casey Slattery. Slattery hitting 147 with 4 ribbies to start 2018. 2-0. Fastball downstairs, and it's 3-0. Slattery appearing in his 17th game. He's out of the University of California, Berkeley, Golden Bear. And the 3-0 pitch. High ball 4, and Slattery draws a walk. First walk allowed by Brandon Schlick in this ball game. And the Monarchs get their leadoff man on in the second. That was Schlick's 12th walk of the season, and updating his stats with what he's done tonight. He has 13 strikeouts, has allowed 14 hits, has worked over 18 innings now, 17 coming into tonight. 2-0 record with an ERA just above 2, appearing in his 4th game of the season. Now Bobby Head will step in for the Monarchs from Austin P. The righty delivers, and it's a strike over the outside edge, 0-1. Bobby Head this year hitting .214, 5 runs batted in. He's also scored 5 runs. Start number 19 of the year, or rather appearance number 19. Did not start, but made an appearance in last night's game. 0-1. And a fly ball hit towards left field. De La Cruz coming in, still coming in. It's going to drop in for a hit as it wedged its way between Jordan, the shortstop, going out, and De La Cruz, the left fielder, coming in. Monarchs get a walk and a single to start this bottom of the second inning. Slattery up to second, Head at first. And the batter is now Keegan Watson. Keegan Watson, starting left fielder today out of the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Right-handed batter against the righty Schlick. Schlick from the set position, and Watson will try to bunt one. It's a line drive that gets down to the ground. Foul in front of De La Cruz, the first baseman. 0-1. Keegan Watson this year, in now 16 games that he's played, 3 RBIs, 4 for 24 starting to the season, 167. Looking to improve upon that here. 0-1. Another bunt shown, pulling back and taking ball 1 in the dirt was Watson, 1-1. Monarchs trying to bring that batting average back up, was down to as low as .232 entering that series against the Saginaw Sugar Beets a week ago on Thursday. 1-1. Bunt, and it's put down foul at the plate. Watson not able to sacrifice the runners over. So it's 1-2 with nobody out in the second. 2-run lead for the Graders. Monarchs now have a .250 batting average, which is helped out quite a bit by that 27-8 win here against Saginaw last Friday. Schlick looking in for the sign, gets it, and throws. And Watson will foul it back to the screen. 1-2. And you can look on YouTube now and actually get all 27 runs of audio if you have the time. 6.5-minute video to get all those 27 runs in. It's quite a project to undertake. 1-2. And Watson swats one to deep center field. Sikowski moving backwards will make the catch on the warning track. Slattery going to try and move up to third. Now trying to come to second is Bobby Head, and he will be safe at second on a very close play. Rodriguez got the tag down just a little bit tardy. Watson flies out, but both the men do eventually move up. And so that's a big double play averted there by the Monarchs. Slattery's at third and Head's at second. Casey O'Loughlin striding to the plate. 2-0 Graders. Monarchs batting in the second. Schlick against the lefty O'Loughlin, and a big cut and a miss by Casey. Northwestern Wildcat hitting .207, 4 RBIs on the young season. Not as young as it was, though, a few days ago. 6 for 29 start for O'Loughlin. 14th game he has played. 0-1, and a fastball that was away from him. He swung through for strike 2. Colby Weiler waiting on deck. Brandon Schlick has not pitched since last Tuesday. 0-2. Pop-up will get foul. Straight over our heads behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes. No decision for Schlick through 5 innings. Allowed 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts while opposing 22 batters in what was eventually a 6-2 Saginaw win over Galleon. 0-2. And a curveball is bounced over to the right side, gets past De La Cruz, the first baseman. Rodriguez able to wrangle it and throw over to first for the out. But in the process, Casey O'Laughlin will drive in a run. Fifth ribby of the season for O'Laughlin. As Slattery comes home to score, the Monarchs are on the board. It's 2-1 now in the bottom half of the second. So good job by O'Laughlin to just put it in play. And the Monarchs get a run back here. Now Kelby Weiler. The now Lamar University product, formerly of Rice. Curveball bounced, and it gets past the pitcher Schlick into center field. That's going to tie it up. Kelby Weiler drives home a run, and it's a 2-2 contest. Kelby Weiler with his 10th RBI of the season, and he has RBI singles in the second inning in back-to-back nights now. He got the Monarchs on the board last night, and he gridlocks this game here. First pitch he saw, and ticketed it for center field. As Bobby Head came in to score. Prater with a swing and a miss for strike one. Prater 0 for 1 with a ground out today. Now drawing a throw over there first is Kelby Weiler. He's back in safely. Weiler improving that average a touch. Was 208 coming into tonight. And bump that up a bit. 0-1 is a strike at the knees. Throw down to try and get Weiler, and it's a wayward throw and heads into center field. But Weiler not able to get past second base. So just a clear-cut stolen base for Weiler. Count 0-2 on Will Prater. 2 down, a man in scoring position, and a 2-2 game in the second. Weiler, a moment ago, just picked up his second steal of the season. Has been successful both times. 0-2. Curveball, a high chopper hit towards second. Rodriguez charging, still charging. A sidearm throw, not in time, and it's an infield single for Will Prater. So the Monarchs keep things going here in the second. Up to third goes Weiler, and the Monarchs not content with just tying the game. They want to go ahead here. 4 hits now for the Monarchs, all in this inning. And now Jordan Nwogu with a chance. 2 outs, men at the corners. 2-2 game. Nwogu singled back in the first and was left there. Brandon Schlick trying to work out of trouble. And a ground ball hit over towards Rodriguez at second. Moves to his left to scoop it up. Throws on to first to get Nwogu to end the inning. But the Monarchs do get on the board. They get 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors, and they leave 2 men on. We venture to the third inning here in Flat Rock. It is the Graders 2 and the Monarchs 2. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball. Lake Erie Monarchs baseball on the radio. Galleon Graders, their opponent today. Strike one into Christopher Jordan. That's the beginning of this top of the third inning. Dylan McInerney working against Jordan. 0-1 is bounced back to the screen behind home. No balls and 2 strikes. Jordan with a fly out to left, his first time up tonight. McInerney allowing 3 hits and 2 runs to come across in the second. And the pitch, setting up inside was Goudreau, and he goes back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Monarchs with 6 consecutive home games this week. Yesterday, getting the homestand started. 0-2 outside for ball 1. And closing on Sunday, the homestand against the Hamilton Joes. And the 1-2. A foul off the inside of his ankle by Jordan. Still 1-2. Should be a fun homestand. The Monarchs with trips to Salina, Ohio against Grand Lake next week. Also battle the Xenia Scouts Thursday, Friday. And followed up with a couple games against the Irish Hills Leprechauns. One in Livonia next Saturday, and the other one next Sunday will take place at Fifth Third Field in Toledo. How exciting is that for these players? 1-2. Fastball rung him up, strike 3, and down goes Jordan. 6-pitch strikeout for McInerney. He has now K'd 3 of the last 4. He struck out the side in the second, and now has 5 Ks in the game. Sikowski is one of those 5 strikeouts as he steps in. And a dirt ball, ball 1. Fifth Third Field, of course, the home of the Toledo Mud Hens, AAA affiliate of the Tigers. 1-0 is hit high and foul. It's heading out of play. Down the third base line, 1-1. Took a lot of fundraising from those Irish Hills Leprechauns players and the Monarchs alike to get that game there. You have to sell a certain amount of tickets to play at a place like that. 1-1 outside, 2 balls and a strike. So when Irish Hills comes in the next 2 days, we'll be able to chat a little bit more about that. 2-1. And Sikowski, a high chopper that's going to get over Bobby Head and into left field. A base hit. Sikowski wanting to, rounds first, but we'll have to head back. Boy, that was a Baltimore chop. And it ends up in left field for a base hit. 4 hits now for the Galleon Graders. That's the first for Todd Sikowski and his 3rd hit of the series. Now here's Jacob Reimold. Double and a run scored for Reimold today. Quick throw over to first. Robert Lothian calling Sikowski safe. Sikowski went in standing instead of sliding. And that was a nice tag by Slattery. Another throw to first. And safe again is Sikowski. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. The same line for both teams so far. Monarchs have left 2 or 3. And now the runner takes off. Strike 1 over the outside corner. Throw down to second. And they got him. Todd Sikowski caught trying to steal a base. 2-4. As Weiler put the tag down nicely. So that erases the 1-out base runner. And there's now 2 outs. Base is empty in the 3rd. And an even game. 0-1 nicked him in the jersey. And so instead of 2 men on with 1 down, there's a man on first with 2 outs. Now Juan De La Cruz, another chance to try and keep the inning going for Galleon with 2 outs. He struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Galleon, the gray jerseys and gray slacks tonight, also have stripes down the side of their slacks, very thin stripes, 2 navy blue ones and a yellow one is in the middle. Some great socks tonight Juan de la Cruz has on. Ball 1 in the dirt, 1-0. Actually, he's sporting the very high stirrups, but his pants only go down to just below his knees. Long blue socks underneath. 1-0 at the knees for a strike. Level the count at 1. Galleon also sporting navy blue caps with an orange G on the front, their logo. 1-1 on the way from McInerney. And a check swing went too far. Strike 2 on De La Cruz. Monarchs in the white home jerseys and pants once again with the navy blue pinstripes. Green stirrups. 2 white stripes and a navy blue stripe. High fastball laying off was De La Cruz. 2-2. Monarchs with the tri-colored caps, green on the back, navy blue on the sides, white on the front. That portion contains the Monarchs logo and a blue lid on the cap. 2-2. And a little blooper that's falling and right. Nwogu not going to get there for it's a base hit for Juan de la Cruz.
The second baseman, number 17.
3 straight have reached for the Graders, but no one has scored just yet. 2 outs in the inning in a 2-2 game. 5 hits for Galleon already against Dylan McInerney. Now digging in is Michael Rodriguez. Singled and scored the second run on that 2-run single by Cole Andrews last inning. McInerney will look towards second. Now back towards home. Now back towards second. And deals. High fastball went a little too far. Strike 1 on Rodriguez. A feature of a Galleon's jersey as well. On their left breast, they have a Galleon in navy blue, small print with a yellow stripe around it. Or maybe that's navy blue. It is navy blue. 1-0. Or 1 now makes it 1-1. Two outs in the third. Galleon wants to break the tie with Michael Rodriguez. 1-1. And a chopper hit towards first. Should be routine for Slattery. He'll flip to the covering McInerney. That will do it. So 2 singles and a hit batsman, but Galleon does not come up with any runs. And we venture to the bottom of the third. 2-2 game. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Born in the USA means Jake Gaudreau is up, and the bottom of the third inning begins. What a beautiful day to be in the United States of America. 4th of July. And we hope you're enjoying it at this ballpark at Flat Rock Field or with us or at many other venues throughout the country. Fastball for strike one to Gaudreau. Starts off the bottom of the third. Brandon Schlick in his third inning of work. Gaudreau 0 for 1 today with a K. The pitch to him. And a breaker comes in at the knees, right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes. O'Keefe and Slattery will also bat in this inning. 0-2. And a high chopper hit between first and second. De La Cruz will go to play it. Flips over to Schlick, the pitcher, and he will step on the bag, receiving the toss from De La Cruz for out number 1. Seen a lot of choppers here today. Must be an extra
40, Sean O'Keefe.
tough dirt around home plate. Not exactly what I want to say, but nonetheless, I think you get the point. Sean O'Keefe had one of those, a chopper, back to the mound. And a strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Those have been lethal from pitchers in this contest, and they've been able to locate those off-speed pitches away. 0-1, and it's low and inside. Level things off against O'Keefe, a ball and a strike. Shadows starting to slowly creep across towards the third base line. The dugout providing some shade. The break even. And it's in for a strike right down the middle. Another breaking ball, 1-2. And as the sun continues to set in the west, we'll continue to provide more shadows as we go along. 1-2, and O'Keefe's way out in front of a curveball, strike 3. So another punch out here today for Schlick. He's up to 2 on the ball game. And as we continue in the bottom of the third, nobody on, 2 outs, and a 2-2 tie. And here's Casey Slattery. Walking and scoring in the second was Slattery. Brandon Schlick out of the windup delivers. And there's a curveball that Andrews couldn't quite paint over the outside edge. 1-0. Schlick, after the 8-pitch first inning, had a 20-pitch second inning. 1-0. And it skips in, ball 2. Monarchs made him work a little bit more in that second frame. Schlick's looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the contest. Had to work around a single in the first, and then, of course, the 2-run frame in the bottom of the second. 2-0. Fastball, inner edge, strike 1 to Slattery. Tim Brown, third base coach, first-year skipper for the Monarchs, looking on. 2-1. And a curveball that was hanging over the outside corner is fouled off by Slattery down towards the grandstands on the third base side, 2-2. Dale Gray, first base coach, had the night off last night. He's back tonight. 2-2. Stays outside. Trying to backdoor him was Schlick with a nice breaking ball. Full count on Slattery. They're playing him straight up. Are the Graders defensively. Taps the play once to Slattery. Brings the bat near his left shoulder. 3-2. Fastball, wave and a miss. Strike 3, and Slattery is fanned. 2 consecutive strikeouts. Round out a 1-2-3 inning, the first of the night for Brandon Schlick. We're on to the 4th here at Flat Rock Field on the 4th of July. Graders 2, Monarchs 2. This is Monarchs Baseball. Jose De La Cruz to lead things off. Bottom three of the order for the Graders as the fourth begins. Kevin Peel here with you on this beautiful 4th of July evening. McInerney the pitch. Fastball outside, ball one. McInerney into his fourth inning. Walked De La Cruz back in the second, but stranded him on base. 90 feet from home. 1-0 is skied towards left center field, charging in O'Loughlin, and he will make the catch. Prater had to give way to him at the last moment.
The designated hitter.
One up, one down here in the fourth for the Monarchs. Let's take a look at that Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League scoreboard, see what's going on here on this holiday. An early start in Salina, Ohio. The Grand Lake Mariners fall to the Muskegon Clippers by a count of 3-1. Muskegon now 11-12, 3.5 back of Lima. Strike one to Vince Donato, who struck out today. 2-2 game here in the fourth. Grand Lake falls to 12-10, 2 back of Lima. And a fastball skips all the way to the backstop past the glove of Goodrow, 1-1. Tight North Division with 4 teams within 2 games of the top. 1-1. Fly ball that's hooking down the right field line, and that will be foul. As Robert Lothian makes the sign from behind first base, the base umpire. 1-2 the count with 1 down in the fourth. 2-2 tie. Speaking of the Lima Locos, 13-7, and the leaders in the North Division, they're trailing big to St. Clair at home in the bottom of the 7th. That's a 12-4 score. St. Clair currently 2 back at 12-10 right now. 1-2 pitch to Donato. Ground ball over to short. Fielded above his head by Prater. Took a weird hop. He throws across, and they just got him. Nice scoop by Slattery out of the dirt. 6-3 put out of Donato. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth inning for the Graders. Tie game. Xenia Scouts, Cincinnati Steam going at it down in Cincy. 6-2 Xenia leads, bottom of the third. They had to battle rain last night before Cincinnati prevailed 8-1. They continue to hang around in the South Division. Swing and a miss to start off this at-bat by Cole Andrews, who's responsible for the 2 Galleon runs today with a 2-run single with 2 down in the second. Cincinnati entering the day tied with Southern Ohio. 0-1 is inside to level the count at 1. Southern Ohio at 14-5, Cincinnati at 15-6. 2 games in hand does Southern Ohio has, but Southern Ohio had that rain out with the Monarchs. One of those games will not be made up. 1-1 over the outside corner. Strike 2. Other action, Hamilton Joes leading the Licking County Settlers 2-1, top 4. Richmond Jazz, Southern Ohio Copperheads also in action. 1-2, wave and a miss. Down goes Cole Andrews. And Dylan McInerney turns in a perfect top of the fourth inning. And he is now up to 6 strikeouts in the game. Middle of the fourth, 2-2 game. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Bobby Hen will take his cunts for the second time in this contest, beginning the bottom of the fourth. Raiders and Monarchs deadlocked at 2. Pitched ahead. Low and inside, ball 1 from Brandon Schlick. Bobby Hen singled and scored in a productive bottom of the second for the Monarchs. 1-0. And a high Baltimore chop hit towards third. Charging is Reimold, throwing to first. Got him. Out number 1. Those choppers have been very prevalent here today. And Schlick gets a 2-pitch out. His pitch count stands at just 43 as he works here in the bottom of the fourth with 1 out in it and no one on. Watson flew out to deep center field back in the second inning. Righty Watson batting for the second time. Pitch from Schlick. And a slider is Slick off the outside corner for strike 1. Schlick from Clarion University of Pennsylvania. 0-1 misses outside. It's 1-1. Golden Eagles baseball team. 10-26 campaign for Clarion this year on the diamond. 1-1. Came inside, almost hit Watson. Had to duck out of the way. 2 balls and a strike. He's one of 15 Golden Eagles to participate in summer baseball. Two one, well outside and low. 3 straight balls to Watson make it 3-1. 3-1 off the outside edge, ball 4. And Schlick will walk his second man of the game to put a 1-out base runner on for the Monarchs here in the fourth. Tied at 2 is the contest. Brandon Schlick made 7 appearances for Clarion University this year. 1-4 record with an 8.72 ERA. All of those were starts. O'Loughlin batting against him. And the pitch bunt shown, strike taken down the middle, 0-1. O'Loughlin rolled out to second in the second, driving home a run. Brought in Slattery from third. 5th ribby of the season for Casey. Throw to first. Back in safely is Watson. Schlick threw 32 innings, allowed 38 hits, 33 runs, and 31 of them earned. 0-1. And a foul ball heading over the third base dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. Over a 3-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is not too shabby. 30 Ks, 8 walks. 292 batting average against. Another throw to check the runner. No play. So Schlick's numbers up and down. His last season with Clarion. 0-2. And a hanging curveball is hit into right center field going out. Rodriguez, and he drops the baseball. And it will get over towards the center fielder, heading towards second base. And now out of there is Keegan Watson on what will end up being a very strange fielder's choice in the second out of the inning. Rodriguez was going out, and that's a very tough play to make, battling the sun. He nearly made it anyway, but instead it's a fielder's choice. I guess 4.86 on the putout. You don't see that very often. Now a throw over to first to check the new base runner, which is O'Loughlin with 2 outs. 2-2 game in the fourth. Weiler. Fastball high to him. Ball 1. Boy, has he been good in this series, hasn't he? RBI single in 2 consecutive games in the bottom of the second inning. Had one last night, one tonight. And close play, and Lothian, the base umpire, saying that O'Loughlin was just back in there safely. He was leaning towards second, and Schlick appeared to have him. Just able to get back in. One-0 pitch on the way to Kelby Weiler. Nope, instead another throw to first, and safe again is Casey O'Loughlin. Weiler in this series is 2 for 2 with those singles that I mentioned, and he also walked 3 times last night. Pitch is taken for a strike, and now a balk will be given to Brandon Schlick, and that will advance O'Loughlin to second on the balk. Just a slight motion moving the base runner up, and no pitch either. That would have been a strike into Weiler. 1-0. And strike over the outside corner. Nice slide piece, 1-1. Rodriguez and Jordan playing up the middle. Ready for a ground ball hit in their direction. 1-1. Outside. 2 balls and a strike on Weiler. Roommates with Cal Boardwine, fellow Monarch pitcher, was Kelby Weiler at Rice University before he decided to transfer. 2-1, a high fly ball hit deep to left field. De La Cruz backing up on the warning track in front of the scoreboard will make it in time and haul it in for out number 3. So Brandon Schlick is able to dodge a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the 4th. We remain tied at 2, heading to the 5th. This is Monarchs Baseball. We've reached the 5th inning here in Flat Rock. One is a 2-2 contest. Dylan McInerney still working. Ball 1 outside, so Austin Hathaway. Fly out and a strikeout today for Hathaway. 1-0 from McInerney. And a chopper hit towards the mound. McInerney will field. Move towards the first base bag. Underhand toss to first. Slattery's waiting for it. Out number 1.
Number 13.
Quick outs necessary for Dylan McInerney. He's about to cross the 80 pitch threshold as we are in the 5th. He's had to work. He had a 34 pitch second inning, which Gallion scrapped across 2 runs. Ball down low. Start off the at-bat, Christopher Jordan, also with an air out and a K today against McInerney. 1-0 to him. And a ground ball hit over to short. Prater able to stop it. Throws over to first in time. Out number 2. Prater didn't get his body in front of it, but did spear the ball in his mitt. 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the 5th for Dylan McInerney. Galleon Graders, of course, trying to break the 6-game slide. They'll have a day off tomorrow for hosting the Richmond Jazz on Friday. Slider for strike 1 to Todd Sikowski. Struck out in the first, singled in the 3rd, and was caught stealing. 0-1. A little low. Even the count up. Shadows starting to extend more closely to the mound as we play in the 5th. Break even is fouled off. Hit hard in the air, right side. 1-2 on Sikowski. Deep breath from McInerney. From the wind, the pitch, and it finishes below the zone. 2-2. Other than the usual Mondays, which is Monarchs' day off every week. No extra days off until the All-Star break. And this will be a foul ball on a play behind home. Still 2-2 on Todd Sikowski. Goodrow gave it a quick look. Monarchs finished the homestand Sunday, off Monday before hitting the road. 2-2, ground ball to the right side. Weiler fields, toss to first is true. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan McInerney and the Lake Erie Monarchs in the top of the 5th. Time for the bottom of the 5th. It's a 2-2 game. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Top of the order for the Monarchs as the bottom of the 5th is ready to begin. Brandon Schlick into his 5th inning in his start here tonight. His first offering is line to left, right at De La Cruz, who doesn't have to move much, just a couple steps towards the line. Out number 1. Prater now 1 for 3 today with a single in the 2nd. Now make way for Jordan Wogu to take his cuts. 2-2 tie, bottom 5. Galleon with one more hit than the Monarchs do, 5-4. No defensive miscues so far in the game, although Michael Rodriguez dropping that pop-up in shallow right center looked like it was going to be an error. Then he was able to get an out on what turned into a fielder's choice. Slider for a strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Schlick has had fantastic command of that pitch tonight away from the right-handed hitters. an 0-1. And it skips past the catcher Andrews into the backstop. Ball 1. One of 15 players from the Clarion University team. Brandon Schlick is playing summer baseball. Big thing for these young players trying to develop. 1-1. Another ball put in the air towards left field. Coming on, not making the catch is De La Cruz. It skips by him. Backing it up is Sikowski. Is throwing to second. Nwogu's heading there. And he's safe. And Robert Lothian making the call there on the double. 5th hit of the game for the Monarchs. And 2nd hit for Jordan Nwogu. He has a single and a double now. Monarchs get the go-ahead run into scoring position quickly here in the bottom of the 5th. Jake Goodrow, the batter. Strikeout and a chopper for him today. 0-for-2. Out of the stretch, the pitch. Two-seamer finishes outside the zone, ball 1. Bailey DeRocher and Brandon Schlick, the two representatives from Clarion, playing baseball in the GLSCL with the Graders. 1-0. And way in front of a curveball that was a dirt ball. Goodrow swings and misses, 1-1. A wide talent pool Galleon trying to develop as they continue to grow into their 4th year as an organization here in the Great Lakes Summer League. In good hands ownership-wise and management-wise. 1-1. And swinging over the top of a curveball. Also in front of it was Goodrow, 1-2. Mike O'Leary and Tom O'Leary, his son. Well, rather the other way around. Tom O'Leary, the father, the management team. Helping to push the buttons, bringing in Neil Schaffner. Guy who has played 3 years in the Indian system prior to this. 16 years in baseball, has experience in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. The third base coach Schaffner was at the Delaware Cows 17 years ago, back in 2001. And Jim DeSaint had to take a moment to remember that moment. That was the winning team in the league that year. 1-2. And a curveball is down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goodrow at the open stance. Batting on the left side against the righty, Schlick. Schlick with a couple glances towards second. 2-2 is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Straight behind home. Just getting a piece of it was Goodrow. And with our perch right behind home plate, you still get the occasional flinch from me as a ball comes directly straight at me. Guess my reflexes don't remember the fences in front of me sometimes. 2-2 from Schlick is coming. And it's chopped foul at the plate. Goodrow will see a 7th pitch in this at-bat. Bottom 5, 1 out, man at second, 2-2 tie. Sean O'Keefe waiting patiently on deck. Approaching 8:30 here in Flat Rock, Michigan on July 4th. Monarchs hoping to provide the fireworks offensively here today on this Independence Day. 2-2. Fastball high and outside, and able to lay off was Goodrow. Full count. Nwogu with good speed at second. Schlick takes a deep breath. Still looking for the sign from his catcher Andrews. Now they agree. And here it comes. Breaking ball, low and outside. Ball 4. Goodrow able to draw a walk. Walk now in consecutive innings for Brandon Schlick. And he has 3 in this game. Now the pitching coach going to come out and have a quick word. Want to remind you fans, make sure to head on over to our YouTube page, Monarchs TV 2018. You can find it on our website, LakeErieMonarchs.com, and head into one of the media tabs and you'll find it there. Just had some audio highlights uploaded, looking to have some video highlights uploaded from tonight's game, and along with that, a full contest. We've been ironing out the kinks of uploading full games online, and looking to do that for you here as we continue to go forward. Monarchs TV on YouTube. Make sure to check it out. Now Sean O'Keefe, the batter, 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout for him today. 1 out, bottom 5. Graders 2, Monarchs 2. Pitch. And comes high and in. O'Keefe had to duck out of the way for ball 1. Monarchs looking for their first series victory of the season. They've either split or lost series to this point in the campaign. Game number 21 for the Monarchs tonight. Past the halfway point now. 1-0. And it's high and in again, 2-0. Schlick appeared to be in great shape pitching count-wise, entering this inning with 55. But as he approaches 70, this will be pitch number 70. He appears to be starting to labor just a tad. No one warming up down the first base side in the Galleon bullpen. At least not yet. Long look towards Nwogo at second. 2-0 pitch is a ground ball hit towards Rodriguez at second. Toss to short for 1. Throw to first. A double play. Rodriguez to Jordan to De La Cruz. 4-6-3 ground ball double play. And the Monarchs will not score in the bottom of the 5th despite getting 2 men on base. We're through 5 here at Flat Rock Field. Graders 2, Monarchs 2. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Dylan McInerney looking to be the second consecutive Monarchs pitcher to throw 6 strong innings in this series. Jack Heisman was able to get through 6 yesterday, allowing just 1 earned run, and McInerney will look to do the same. Deals with Jacob Reimold to start off, and a slider is over the outside corner for a strike, says home plate umpire Frank Barquette. Reimold on base twice today. Doubled and scored in the second, hit by a pitch in the third, And he lines one foul into the third base dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. The next one will be pitch number 90 to McInerney. He's up against it a bit, but no one warming up in the bullpen. 0-2, ground ball hit sharply towards second. Tough play for Weiler. Almost let it get past him, but he fields and throws on well in time to get Reimold. First out here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors both ways. Gallion has left 4 men on, and the Monarchs at this point have left 5. Here's Juan de la Cruz with a strikeout and a single today. Singled in the 3rd, his last at bat. De la Cruz swinging right away, airs it foul towards the vacant bullpen of the Graders down the first base side, 0-1. Boy, does that breeze feel nice as we continue to go deeper into the evening on this 4th of July. 0-1 from McInerney, up and in, 1-1. Helping cool you down after another warm day, although this weekend is going to be very nice. In terms of temperatures coming up, 1-1, and a fastball swung through by De La Cruz. He was going for the fences, 1-2. McInerney hasn't pitched over 4 innings in any outing this year so far. 1-2, and a liner, screamer, foul. First base side, 1-2. Just like Jack Heisman threw only 6 innings in 9 appearances for Western Michigan during the college season his freshman year with the Broncos. Dylan McInerney going his longest that he has gone this year. And it seems to be the strategy. Brad Merritt, his first year as pitching coach, starting to extend these guys longer. 1-2, high and in. De La Cruz had to back away from that heater. Level count at 2. Out of the windup, here comes McInerney. And another ball popped up. Somewhat going to investigate his Gaudreau. That's well out of play into diamond 4 back and to the right. Flat Rock Community Field filling in nicely tonight. Graders and Monarchs fans alike taking in the sights and sounds on this national holiday. Another 2-2. And this is chopped to the left side. Head waiting on it. Fields at the numbers. Throws across. And that's out number 2. 5 straight ground ball outs now for Dylan McInerney, and 6 of the last 7 have been via the ground ball. You can extend that out even further to 7 of 9. He's retired 9 straight, in fact. Here's Michael Rodriguez. Single and a ground out for him today. Curveball buckled his knees for strike 1. De La Cruz, who just grounded out, was the last man to have a hit or even reach base against McInerney back in the 3rd. 0-1 is low and outside, a ball and a strike. So I think he has earned himself an opportunity to get through at least 6 frames. The pitch skips in, caught by Gaudreau. 2 balls and a strike. Birds chirping off in the distance as McInerney comes home. And a swing and a miss over top of a fastball. Rodriguez chased it. Even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuce is wild. 2 outs in the 6th. 2-2 tie. And the pitch. And Rodriguez chases one in the dirt. Swings and misses for strike 3. Gaudreau will have to throw down to complete the strikeout, and that's what he does. First strikeout for McInerney since the 4th. He has been efficient with the K tonight. He's up to 7 strikeouts, and he works his way through 6 innings. Middle of the 6th inning, 2-2 tie, Graders and Monarchs. This is Monarchs Baseball. Monarchs begin the bottom of the sixth with a pinch hitter. It's Caleb Balgard from Indiana. Will try and pinch hit for Casey Slattery today. Slattery exiting the game with a walk and a strikeout. Balgard, the Hoosier, off to a 3-13 start. This is the 18th game he's played in, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. And he'll pinch hit in a 2-2 game against Brandon Schlick, who, like Dylan McInerney, wants to get through 6 at least. Swinging right away, following it back is Balgard for strike 1. Balgard also has scored 10 runs coming into today. One of 4 players to have 10 runs scored for the Monarchs in this campaign. 0-1, and swing, and maybe got a piece of it at the plate. 0-2, another one of those lethal sliders from Schlick. Bobby Head and Keegan Watson also due up in the inning for Lake Erie. 2 right-handed batters against the right-handed hurler. Well, we've talked about 2 straight Monarchs pitchers getting through 6 innings of work. Gallion looking to do the same. 0-2, fastball high, 1-2. Gaten Sinisgali going 6 strong innings, allowing just 1 earned run yesterday and threw 90 pitches, but took the tough luck loss. 1-2, a chopper foul towards the on-deck circle, third base side. Balgard still kicking. Lights not quite on yet here at Flat Rock Field. They'll have to come on soon as they slowly will creep into effect with the sun setting in the west. Another 1-2 to Balgard. And it's low and away. And Schlick just couldn't quite command that slider that time. Even counted 2. And the break even. Low and away. Full count on Balgard. He has put Schlick in a tough spot. Graders and Monarchs are not done playing each other just yet in 2018 after tonight. 2 more matchups right at the end of this month to wrap up the regular season. 3-2, liner hit towards left, coming over. De La Cruz can't make the catch, it drops in. Balgard was thinking too, instead he's just going to stop at first base. And Balgard will reach on, oof, that's going to be a close one. Either a hit or an error. De La Cruz was in front of it, and it was a play that probably should have been made, but it was not. And so Balgard will reach on the E7. First error of the contest either way. And it goes against De La Cruz. Scoring a bunt his head. He gets it down towards the right side. Schlick will field it. Underhand toss to the bag at first. Gets the job done. 1-3 sack bunt for Head, who remains 1 for 2 today with a single and a ground out. Up to second base goes Balgard on the bunt. And so with 1 down here in the 6th, Monarchs will look to take the lead. 2-2 tie has been since the bottom of the 2nd. All 4 runs in this game were scored in that stanza. It's Keegan Watson. Fly out and a walk for Keegan so far today. At second base is Balgard. The pitch. And a slow breaker, a little high for ball 1. Keegan Watson wearing a little different jersey number than maybe you are acquainted with. Has the number 26 on today. Just this game only. His number 28 that he usually wears was not in there for whatever reason. 1-0. And fouled off in the air, straight behind home, 1-1. So the official scorekeeper, Brendan Molnar, and myself had to make the necessary adjustments. And not having his normal jersey on, of course, the one start that he makes comes with that situation, although he came in and played left field last night in the 9th. 1-1. And a curveball just below the belt, right down the middle, strike 2. 1-2. Yeah, the Monarchs players talking about what they did today. Got in a little work earlier on, but a lot of people woke up late. Enjoying the 4th of July holiday just a bit. 1-2. And in on the hands, it's popped up to Rodriguez at second. Balgard will scramble back to the bag as Rodriguez makes the catch. May have shattered the bat, or maybe got a crack on the handle. Have to see about that one later. In the meantime, Monarchs have 2 outs. 2-2 game, runner at second. And Casey O'Laughlin is the Monarchs' last chance in this frame. Ground out. And he also popped into a fielder's choice in the 4th that was dropped by Rodriguez in short right center. They were able to get Keegan Watson, though, moving to second. 4-8-6 on that putout. First pitch is popped up left side. Going over is Reimold near the third base dugout to put it away. Nice grab made, and Brandon Schlick is able to navigate his way through 6 innings, allowing 2 runs. Monarchs do not score and leave the go-ahead run in scoring position. We're through 6 here at Flat Rock Field in Flat Rock, Michigan. Raiders and Monarchs tied at 2. This is Monarchs Baseball. Top of the 7th inning here in Flat Rock, Michigan. The lights just coming on. It is a splendid evening for baseball, and we have a tight game on our hands. Once again, it's also low scoring. Galleon and Lake Erie tied at 2. Kevin Peel here with you, providing the accounts and descriptions. Appreciate you tuning in on this Independence Day. Celebrating our nation's freedom. Ball 1 from Brendan Lovell, the new hurler for the Monarchs, who replaces Dylan McInerney. Strong 6 innings out of Dylan today. 1-0. Fastball down low, and it's 2-0. McInerney's final numbers, 6 innings, 102 pitches, 24 batters faced, 1 walk to 7 strikeouts, yielded 5 hits and 2 earned runs. 2-0. And swing and a foul tip at the plate. Might have gotten a piece of good draw. 2-1, the count on Jose De La Cruz, who was walked and flown out today. Donato and Andrews also due up in the inning behind him, 8-9, following the 7-man in the order. 2-1 from Lovell. Another foul tip, and wearing that one was Goudreau. That did not sound very good. 2-2. Brendan Lovell from Scotts, Michigan, 6'2", 185 pounds, the Western Michigan Bronco. He comes home with a 2-2, and it's down low, blocked by Goodrow. No one on base, though. Full count. Lovell, the first man out of the pen today for Lake Erie. Full count pitch is on its way. And there's a wave and a miss, strike three. And Lovell gets the first strikeout for him today. 8 strikeouts now for the Monarchs pitching staff. Following up an effort last night in which they had 8 through 9 innings. They have 8 through 6 1/3 here today. That brings Vince Donato into the right-handed batter's box. He is also fanned and grounded out today. Donato swinging right away, and the curveball keeps him off balance, 0-1. 8th appearance of the season for Lovell. No record, 3.21 ERA. Lovell shakes off a sign from Goodrow. Now they're ready. 0-1 chopped over to short. Prater fields and checks the label, throws on to first. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Lovell has thrown 14 innings, 8 strikeouts, 7 walks, and permitted 13 hits. He got off to a bit of a tough start this year, and the numbers for him, fortunately, not as bad as they could have been. A lot of unearned runs have come in against him. Skips in for ball 1, his first pitch to Cole Andrews. 2-run single in the second, and a strikeout in the 4th for Andrews. He's actually allowed 6 runs over his last 2 appearances, but only 2 of them earned. Only 3 hits allowed. 1-0. Inside. 2-0. Last appearance came against the Green Giants on Sunday. What was an 11-7 win for the Monarchs. Through 3 innings that night. 2-0 pitch over the middle for a get-me-over strike. Just the 1 earned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, a K. 12 batters faced that night. 2-1 from Lovell. And hit hard, foul in the air. Heading well behind the Galleon Graders bullpen, which has a righty up and tossing. And we'll see if the Graders make a move to the bullpen in the bottom half of this inning. Schlick probably has a little bit of wiggle room, though, with 83 pitches. 2-2. Curveball rung up, strike 3. What a pitch from Brendan Lovell. 2 of 3 outs in that inning were strikeouts, and that does it for the Galleon Graders in their half of the 7th. We're at stretch time here at Flat Rock Field. 2-2 game. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Who's going to buckle? Bottom of the 7th inning, Galleon 2, Lake Erie 2. Series finale between these two clubs. Monarchs won 2-1 last night. And both these teams have scored at least 2 tonight. It's been a low-scoring contest. Brandon Schlick back out there for the 7th, dealing with Weiler, Prater, and Nwogu. And Weiler swings at the first pitch, flies it to right, but it's right at Hathaway, who will come in a few steps. 1 pitch, 1 out. Kelby Weiler with 2 straight flyouts after his RBI single in the 2nd. So now Alex Lambo going to try and provide a change of pace here for the Monarchs, as Lambo will pinch hit for Will Prater in the bottom of the 7th, 1 out in a 2-2 game. Prater today going 1 for 3 with a single, a line out, and a ground out. Alex has been one of the more consistent hitters for the Monarchs this year, hitting .308. No homers, 6 RBIs. 20th game he has appeared in. Righty still tossing down in the Galleon bullpen down the first base side. Although Schlick wants to get through 7. Fastball high and away, ball 1. Alex Lambo from Loyola Marymount University in California. Hails from Seattle, Washington, though. 1-0. High and away, 2-0. He's had to battle some illness here this year, has Lambo, but still playing strong. And looking to help out this Monarchs team tonight. 2-0. Fastball at the knees, inside edge, strike 1. Textbook pitch from Schlick. Out of the windup. Schlick will take an extra second, and now time will be called by home plate umpire Frank Barkat. Outfield, infield playing straight away on Lambo. 2-1 from Schlick as fouled back to the fencing behind home. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I mentioned Lake Erie and Galleon not done just yet. They'll play July 28th here at Flat Rock Field, and then the regular season will wrap up in Galleon for the Monarchs. 2-2. Curveball outside, ball 3. Full count on Lambo. And that will be a mid-afternoon start. 4 o'clock for the playoffs will start in the Gray Lake Summer Collegiate League a couple days later. 3-2, fly ball, foul. Heading towards the bullpen area down the third base side. Lambo adjusting his batting gloves in the right-handed batter's box. Dale Gray, Tim Brown looking on, the base coaches. Another 3-2. And this one popped up. Shallow center. Rodriguez backpedaling, still backpedaling, gives away at the last moment to Sikowski, who will record the out. So 0 for 1 now is Lambo as he attempted to pinch hit. First 2 men retired in the bottom of the 7th against Brandon Schlick. And here comes Jordan Nwogu. Nwogu today in 3 prior at-bats against Schlick has fared well. Single, ground out, and a double. Try to bunt down the third base line. There's space there. Reimold and Schlick, the only ones who are near it. And Nwogu will get a bunt single. 6th hit of the game for the Lake Erie Monarchs, and they keep going here in this bottom of the 7th inning. Feel like both teams have been stuck on 5 hits for some time. Nwogu was the last hit for the Monarchs back in the 5th. And the Graders have not had a hit since way back in the 3rd. Monarchs pitching staff has buckled down, and Brandon Schlick has very nicely kept him moving along. It's Jake Goodrow. Fastball is grounded past the diving Rodriguez into center field. Nwogu will stop at second base. 2 straight hits with 2 outs for the Monarchs. Put men at first and second. Goodrow, aggressive in the count. And able to ground one into center field. Now here's Sean O'Keefe. Still looking for his first hit tonight is O'Keefe. A couple ground outs. One of them was a double play in the 5th. Struck out in the 3rd. 2-2 game in the 7th. Monarchs for the 4th straight inning have put a man at second base, but have not scored since the 2nd. Pitch to O'Keefe. And a curveball over the outside corner, strike 1. Both teams had their opportunities last night as well. Monarchs stranded 10, although talking with some of the coaching staff afterwards, they felt, oh, it was only 10? Galleon stranded 8 yesterday. 0-1. And it's off the end of the bat. Foul, straight backwards by O'Keefe. He was lunging for it. 0-2. Brandon Schlick, a strike away from getting through 7 innings. Level stands for O'Keefe. From the set position. And the 0-2. It's upstairs for ball 1. Coming out of his crouch was Andrews. 1-2. Non-menacing clouds off in the distance behind center field. White, wispy clouds, providing a beautiful setting for tonight's game. 1-2 to O'Keefe. And a ground ball right back to the mound. What a catch by Brandon Schlick. O'Keefe with a couple kind words for Schlick, who makes the catch. What a play on a hot shot back to the mound. And Schlick is able to work his way around a couple hits, and the Monarchs do not score. Here's your Web Gem nominee of the night. And Galleon does not allow Lake Erie to score. We go to the 8th, tied at 2. This is Monarchs baseball.
Right fielder, number 1.
Monarchs have had a lot of opportunities tonight, but have just not been able to break this 2-2 deadlock. Top of the 8th inning begins with the top of the order. Austin Hathaway, Christopher Jordan, Todd Sikowski due up. Brendan Lovell, inning number 2. The pitch. Starting off the inning, a fastball that setting up outside was Goodrow, but it came low and inside and got away from him. Ball 1. Hathaway on the leadoff spot today for Gallion is 0 for 3. Fly out, a strikeout, and a chop out. His last time up in the 5th. 1-0. And a liner scorched to center. That's getting down for a base hit in front of O'Loughlin. Going for 2 is Hathaway. The delay of the throw, and he's in there safely. And the Gallion faithful is up and at him. 6th hit of the game for Hathaway and the Graders.
Christopher Jordan, number 13.
And for Hathaway, now on the season, that's double number 2 for him. And you almost wonder if the Monarchs have let a few too many opportunities get away without scoring. As here comes Gallion very aggressively out of the gate in the 8th. Lovell looks towards second at Hathaway. And the pitch is bunted, foul, just gets over the fencing near the first base on deck circle, 0-1. Christopher Jordan trying to sacrifice himself to move the runner up. 0 for 3 today is Jordan. Been retired a multitude of ways. Air out, strikeout, ground out. Lovell's 0-1, squaring to bunt, pulls back, it's in the dirt, away from Jordan, and he was able to pull the bat back. Even the count up at 1 in the 8th, tied at 2. And in scoring position for the Graders. Corner infielders coming in, Baumgart at first and Head at third. Lovell from the first base side of the rubber will toss it home, and it's bunted foul on the first base line. Gallion can't get it down. Jordan will have to try and get a hit, or maybe a ground out to the right side of the infield would do the trick too, with no one down. Gallion Graders as a whole now on the season with 30 doubles. 1-2. And chasing one in the dirt for strike 3. Goodrow looks the runner back to second. Now he's taking off for third. The throw. And they will not get him. Bobby Head thought they got him. Man's able to advance. And Christopher Jordan retired 2-3 on the strikeout. So Jordan did chase a really bad pitch, but nonetheless he is able to move up, does Austin Hathaway, flashing his speed. Now Todd Sikowski will bat with the infield coming in. 1 down the 8th, tied at 2. Lovell's pitch came way inside, missed him for ball 1. Sikowski is single for 3. Hit that high Baltimore chop over the head of it. Bobby Head at third, back in the 3rd. Strikeout and a ground out otherwise. 1-0, and a big swing and a miss. Evens it up at 1. Monarchs had to work their way out of a dicey situation in the 8th yesterday, holding on to their lead. And Sikowski will swing and foul tip one into the mitt for strike 2. And it's 1-2 now. They were able to get that fortuitous double play in which Jordan left the bag at third too early. 1-2, and Sikowski chases for strike 3. He's tagged out. And that's a huge strikeout for Brendan Lovell. Gets him to chase the breaking ball. 4 Ks now for Lovell. And the Gallion Graders have fanned 11 times now in this game. So 2 down in the 8th. A man still at third for Jacob Reimold. He's been aboard twice as Reimold doubled and scored in the 2nd. Was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Check swing. And strike 1. Going too far was Reimold on a breaking ball moving away from him. 0-1. Last time up in the 6th, Reimold grounded out. Lovell working with confidence. 0-1. Over the inside corner. Behind 2 strikes is Reimold. Waiting patiently on deck is Juan De La Cruz. Can Lovell slam the door in the 8th? Deep breath. Here it comes. And it came inside, and it looks like it hit him. It did. Forearm or hand, one of the two. Either way, painful. Reimolds hit this for the second time tonight.
Number 24, Juan de la Cruz.
A fastball that got away from Brendan Lovell. Second hit batsman of the night. Both of them are Jacob Reimold. So here's Juan de la Cruz with men at the corners, 2 outs in the Graders, half of the 8th. We're tied at 2. No one has scored since the 2nd inning. We've been tied since then. De La Cruz with a single, a strikeout, and a groundout today. That single came in his second at bat in the 3rd. And the pitch to him, check swing on an slider outside, and he did not go, says Robert Lothian, the base umpire. Ball 1. De La Cruz, the right-handed batter, against the righty Brendan Lovell. He's ready to go quickly. 1-0. And it's scorched right to first. Balgard fields it right in his stomach and goes to the bag by himself. And so, finding a way to get out of the jam is Brendan Lovell as he sidesteps a double, a hit batsman, and strands 2 men on base. Bottom of the 8th. Can the Monarchs go in the lead? We'll find out. We're tied at 2. This is Monarchs baseball. Caleb Balgard to bat against new pitcher Nick Smith. He swings and pops one up to begin the bottom of the 8th. Does Balgard into shallow left. Going out, the shortstop Jordan didn't have to go too far. Makes the catch, and Balgard now 0 for 2. Reached on error in the 6th inning in his other at bat. So 1 up, 1 down, bottom of the 8th on this 4th of July. Tied at 2. Bobby Hand with a single and a ground out. He also had a sac bunt in the 6th. was retired 1-3. Nick Smith relieving Brandon Schlick, who had himself a great performance today. Ball one inside to Head. 1-0. Schlick with his best start of the year. Now he'll turn to Nick Smith. Ball misses the zone. 2-0. 7 innings, 97 pitches for Schlick. Faced 31 batters. 2-0. And swinging a foul tip into the mitt. Strike one. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 7 hits allowed, 2 earned runs. And no decision today for Schlick, despite the fantastic numbers. Dylan McInerney also not receiving a decision today. 2-1 inside, 3-1. And so Nick Smith will make his 7th appearance of the season. He's from Mentor, Ohio. 3-1, fouled into the mitt for strike 2. 5'11", 185 pounds. He's from Baldwin Wallace College. Is Nick Smith. 3-2. Ground ball foul past Tim Brown, third base coach. Full count. Still on Bobby Head. 1 down in the 8th, tied at 2. No one on. Also plays a little second base, as Nick Smith says in his position that he pitches and plays a little infield. 3-2. And high fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Nick Smith picks up his first strikeout, and that's K number 4 for the Monarchs at the plate tonight. Here's Keegan Watson. Last hope for the Monarchs in the bottom of the 8th. Base is empty, tied at 2. Watson 0 for 2 with a walk. That came back in the 4th. Nick Smith delivers, and a ground ball is punched back through the middle, a base hit. Hit number 8 for the Monarchs tonight, and it's the first for Keegan Watson. They are out hitting Galleon 8-6, but the game is tied at 2 in the 8th. Next man up is Casey O'Laughlin, or he was due up, but now Andrew Dyke's going to pinch hit for him in the 8th spot in the order.
Pinch hitting for the Monarchs, number 4, Andrew Dyke.
Dyke becomes the 3rd pinch hitter of the night for the Monarchs, following Balgard, Lambeau, and now Andrew Dyke from the University of Illinois. Dyke 5 for his first 32 at the dish. 2 homers, 5 RBIs. A 2-homer night back on Saturday against the Green Giants. Nick Smith pitches, and it's outside for ball 1. So that average is 156 for Dyke, 17th appearance in a game this year for Lake Erie. Smith's 1-0. And a breaker over the inside edge. Froze Dyke. 1-1. Smith's numbers, 2-0 record, 3.6 earned run average, 20 innings pitched, 21 Ks, 6 walks. Has permitted 15 hits, make it 16 with the hit a moment ago. Long look towards first, 1-1 is grounded just foul down the third base line. Dyke was a little out in front of him, 1-2. Well, it's been a little while since Smith has been on the bump. June 29th, his last outing against the Joes. That was a home game and a loss for the Graders, 14-5 that night. Through 4 innings, allowed 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Nick Smith's 1-2. And off the end of the bat, Dyke chased one but was able to stay alive. At least 3 strikeouts in each of his last 4 appearances for Smith. He's also thrown at least 3 innings. And that lowest total of 3 came in a 3-inning appearance against the Locos back on the 24th of June. 1-2. Dyke able to waste another one away in the air off to the right. Yeah, this was a galleon team that got a couple wins against the Locos, feeling so good about themselves. And baseball, just a funny game sometimes. Monarchs got off to such a rough start this year, trying to battle back, winning 3 of their last 5 to try and climb the North Division standings. Entered the day 6 back of the Locos. Another 1-2 from Smith. And a fly ball hitting foul territory. De La Cruz going out. Hathaway coming towards the line. No one's going to get there. It will drop in foul. Count remains the same on Dyke. 2-2 tie. Runner at first and 2 outs in the bottom half of the 8th. Galleon on the other side of things. 5-0 start. Then went 4-4, so their record went to 9-4. Now 6 consecutive defeats. Trying to get off the schneid before their off day tomorrow. And the Richmond Jazz, a division opponent, coming in on Friday. 1-2. And a chopper that is in fair territory currently, but it will roll to the left of the third base line. A little swinging bunt off the bat of Dyke. He's not making anything easy on Nick Smith here in the 8th. 5 fouled balls in this at bat. And this will be the 8th pitch of the plate appearance for Andrew Dyke. Nick Smith, just the 4th different pitcher we've seen in this game altogether. Instead of a 1-2, a toss over to first. Watson went in standing. And if the tag was a little quicker, it would have been a closer play. Back in safely is Watson. See if he takes off here. 1-2. Low and away. Evens things up at 2-2. Upcoming sophomore at Baldwin Wallace is Smith. Weiler on deck for the Monarchs. The even count pitch. And swing and a miss. Dyke chases strike 3 away. A great slider. Second strikeout of the inning for Nick Smith. And he holds the Monarchs off the board in the bottom of the 8th. So it's time for the 9th inning on Independence Day. And we are still tied at 2. This is Monarchs baseball. Looking to stay in touch with your favorite baseball team? Head on over to LakeErieMonarchs.com, which will provide you a link to highlights and full games. Also, stories from previous games, stats, upcoming schedule, much more. Also, follow the Monarchs on social media at GLL_Monarchs and the Lake Erie Monarchs Facebook page. Brendan Lovell deals ball one inside to Michael Rodriguez. That begins the top of the ninth. Rodriguez with a single, a ground out, and a strikeout today, 1 for 3. He scored one of the two Galleon runs way back in the second. 1-0 is slapped foul, heading out of play to the left of the diamond. 1 ball, 1 strike. Monarchs with 8 hits to Galleon's 6. The Graders have the 1 defensive miscue in this game. Break even from Lovell. Fastball low and in. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Monarchs have left in this contest 10 base runners so far. Similar to last night, Galleon has left 6. 2-1. Chopper heading to the right of first base, foul. 2-2. Andrew Dyke, who pinch hit for Casey O'Laughlin, will stay in the game. He moves to right field. And Jordan Uogu will move to center. Time will be called. Brendan Lovell and Jake Goudreau will have a quick chat out on the mound. Keegan Watson still out there in left, so that remains the same. Alex Lambo has stayed in since the 7th to play shortstop after he pinch hit for Will Prater in that inning. Runs have been at a premium in this series. Just 7 through 17 innings. After the Monarchs scored 27 by themselves last Friday, their last home game. 2-2 slider inside. Cal fills up on Michael Rodriguez. Left-handed hitting second baseman. Lights in full effect now as the sun has nearly set. Approaching 9:30 here in Flat Rock. Payoff. And a fly ball scorched towards right field. Dyke backing up on it near the track will make the catch. Hit hard, but not quite high enough. Maybe not quite getting all of it was Rodriguez. He is the first out here in the 9th.
Jose De La Cruz, number 28.
Here's Jose De La Cruz. 0 for 2 with a walk that came back in the second inning. Lefty batter against the righty Brendan Lovell. Lovell in his 3rd inning of work in relief of Dylan McInerney. Fastball sails outside, ball 1. McInerney was 6 strong innings in his start tonight. And Lovell needs a moment. He'll back out. 1-0. And a fastball misses low and in, 2-0. Had the opportunity to talk with Brendan a little bit before the game. I had to ask him if his school, of course, Western Michigan, had the opportunity to play Bowling Green, my alma mater. And also Jacob Poverman, our PA guy, and Brendan Molnar, our statistician, go to BG. 2-0. Fastball outside. 3-0 on De La Cruz. And I wanted to see if Lovell had the opportunity to pitch against Bowling Green. Time will be called. Another quick meeting on the mound as Goudreau and Lovell will try and get on the same page. And I was just curious if Lovell had the chance to pitch against BG this year. He said no. There was a couple games that were rained out in that series. They got the first one in, but it was a easy Broncos win. It was another tough year for them. The Falcons on the diamond. So Brendan Lovell ready, and the 3-0. Fastball at the knees, strike 1. 3-1 on Jose De La Cruz. Nobody on, 1 out, top 9. Deadlocked at 2. The 3-1. Low and in, ball 4, and Lovell will walk Jose De La Cruz to put a one-out base runner on.
The designated hitter.
That's the first
number
walk for the
36,
Monarchs pitching staff since the
Donato,
second inning when
number
Jose De La Cruz was walked. Just the second walk of the game for the Monarchs. Brad Merrick going to come out and have a quick word now with Goodrow and Lovell. No one warming up in the pen. But they want to make sure Lovell's feeling okay. They would love to get him through this top of the ninth inning, and the Monarchs will aim to walk off in the bottom of the ninth. Giving you just a little peek ahead to who the Monarchs will have batting: Kelby Weiler, Alex Lambo, Jordan Wogu. So 9-1-2 against Nick Smith, who pitched a scoreless bottom of the eighth for the Galleon Graders to keep this game tied at 2. Top of the ninth, one out and a man on. Here's Vince Donato. 2 bounce outs and a strikeout for Donato today in the 8-hole. Runner takes off, pitches down low. Goodrow can't field it cleanly. And a stolen base for Jose De La Cruz. Now, if you're Vince Donato and the Graders, do you try and bunt him to third? Interesting call here for the Graders to make. De La Cruz, 4 for 6. Make it no, he's now 1 for 1 stealing bases this year. Donato hits one hard, foul, heading towards the first base bullpen of the Graders, 1-1. The other De La Cruz, Juan, is 3 for 5 stealing bases in 2018 for the Graders. Lovell looks towards second and comes home. And a chopper hit off of Donato's foot. He comes bouncing out of there, 1-2. Vince Donato's parents have been in attendance the first 2 games here at Flat Rock Field, making the drive. It was about a 2.5-hour drive for them. Happy to come see their son play on a road game nonetheless, and be with them for the 4th. They stayed the night here last night. 1-2, slider, and it fell off the plate and off the table. Strike 3. Brendan Lovell with 5 Ks now through 2 2/3 innings.
Andrews, number
And so the top of the ninth comes down to Cole Andrews. Man at second base in scoring position. We are tied at 2. 2-run single for Andrews in the second. Otherwise, 2 strikeouts for him tonight. The pitch. And it's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Goodrow for ball 1. Haven't seen Goodrow behind the plate. In St. Clair, one of the earlier games this year, he pulled up after hitting a double. Actually, that was one of the home games here right after that against Cincinnati. And I don't think he's caught since a game. 1-0 inside. 2-0 on Andrews. Andrews, the DH last night, the catcher tonight. Slightly open stance. Lovell with a breath, and the 2-0 blows a fastball by him. That may have been the hardest fastball he's thrown today. And Andrews had no chance, 2-1. Fireworks blasting off in the distance. See a couple here and there out behind the center field fence off in the distance. More towards the Detroit area. The pitch. And a ground ball hit towards Weiler at second. Grass throws it down, throws to first. Balgard makes the catch on the throw, and that ends the inning. So a 1-out walk. Nothing comes of it in the ninth for the Galleon Graders. And we head to the bottom of the ninth. Monarchs looking for their first walk-off victory of the year. And we are tied at 2. This is Monarchs Baseball. Let's see if the Monarchs get their first walk-off victory of the season. They are seeking win number 8. Tied up at 2 with the Galleon Graders on this 4th of July. Kelby Weiler to lead things off against Nick Smith, who's entering his 2nd inning. Weiler, a quick swing and a foul ball, heading well out of play to the right of home, 0-1. Weiler had an RBI single back in the 2nd, which tied this game at 2. A flyout since. Swing over the top of a fastball from Smith, 0-2. And this game has been tied since then. Weiler in on the right side against the righty Smith. 0-2. And it's inside. Make it a ball and 2 strikes. Galleon Graders hoping for a 10th inning now. Trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Team that has been 4-10 since a 5-0 start. 1-2, a liner to right center. That's falling fast for a base hit. 9th hit of the game for the Monarchs. Kelby Weiler, he's swinging a great stick lately, isn't he? In this series, he has been fantastic. Leadoff man on for the Monarchs here in the bottom of the 9th. 2-2 ball game. Galleon Graders have just 1 hit since the 3rd inning. Monarchs have scattered their 9 hits. Squaring to bunt is Alex Lambo, who's next up. They bring the 3rd baseman in, and he gets the bunt down the first base line. A great bunt. Smith with the throw over to first got him. But Lambo does his job after flying out in the 7th. A sac bunt. And he's retired 1-3. And up to second base goes Weiler. He has good speed. And that will bring us to Jordan Nwogu. It's a chance to walk off for the Monarchs. Man at second, 1 down. In the bottom of the 9th, tied at 2. And Nwogu's had himself a night. 3-hit night. 2 singles and a double. Grounded out in the 2nd. He's 3 for 4. Nick Smith trying to settle things down. He'll call for his catcher. Andrews to come out and have a quick chat. Monarchs have won 3 of 5. 4 out of 6 doesn't sound too bad as you try and work your way back into the division, especially with Lima trailing big earlier on today. You get to within 5, and then you see what happens. The Locos do have 2 more games to be played here. Nwogu a check swing on a slider darting away, and he's able to lay off for ball 1. And that's final. So the Locos did lose tonight 13-5 to St. Clair. Green Giants now just a game back in the North Division. Are they going to intentionally walk Nwogu? It appears they will. And he's just going to throw the pitches. I thought you were able to just point down there. In minor league baseball, you were able to do that. So ball 3 issued outside. Not a bad decision, especially if you fall behind a guy like Nwogu, who's 3 for 4 tonight. He'll take the walk. And now Jake Goodrow will step in. And he is a decent double play candidate. That's the big reason why Smith and Andrews decided to intentionally walk him. So now the left-handed batter, the percentages in the favor of the Monarchs, as the lefty will face the righty Smith. No one warming up at the bullpen, so this is Nick Smith's out and jam to get out of. 1 out, bottom 9. Raiders 2, Monarchs 2. Mound Conference taking some time. Frank Barquette letting him go. A couple other games still going on. Steam lead the Scouts now 10-6 in the 8th. Remember when that was a 6-2 game in the bottom of the 3rd? Well, the Steam have scored 8 unanswered. Joes have added on to their lead. They lead Licking County 6-3 in the 8th. No updates from Richmond. They're taking on Southern Ohio. And the Clippers beat the Mariners in a North Division battle today. That was an earlier start at 4:30, 3-1. So Tim Brown going to make a late change here. And Jake Goodrow will be pinch hit for by Robert Bell.
Pinch hitting for the Monarchs.
And he has had his
Number
share of big
6,
moments.
Robert
An 8 RBI
Bell.
game last Friday being one of those. And Bell will try and walk off for the Monarchs here in the bottom of the ninth. We're tied at 2. Men at first and second. Weiler at second and Nwogu at first. But the only one that matters is Weiler at second. Bell appearing in his 16th game, hitting .300 with 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. He's walked 9 times as well this year. Nick Smith pitches a fastball low and away. It skips away from the catcher, Andrews. And our first wild pitch of the night could be a very costly one. As up to third goes Weiler, and up to second base goes Nwogu. All Robert Bell has to do now is maybe just put this in play to a certain spot. The infield is coming in. Anything to the outfield, Weiler has a good chance to score and walk off for the Monarchs here in the bottom of the ninth. Nick Smith trying to prevent that. 1-0 as fouled on a line back to the fencing behind home. 1-1 on Robert Bell. The inning started with a leadoff single by Weiler. Sack bunt from Lambo moved him over. Jordan Nwogu was intentionally walked. And then the wild pitch a moment ago moved the runners up 90 feet. 1-1 to Bell. Curveball stayed high and away. Didn't quite cross the plate. 2 balls and a strike. The infielder's just about touching the grass. Smith takes a couple extra moments, and now time will be called, and he does get the time called. The home plate umpire with a little bit of hesitation, but Bell was able to get out of there in time, so it's 2-1 on Robert Bell. Smith holding the glove chest high is 2-1. And a breaking ball down low. And it's 3-1 now on Robert Bell. A walk, not the worst thing, although you have Sean O'Keefe waiting on deck. And he's a dangerous hitter. Way ahead in the count is Robert Bell. We'll see what Smith gives him. The pitch. Fastball fouled off at home. And the green light, 2-seamer that was over the outside corner of the plate. Well executed by Smith, keeping it away from Bell. Full count, 1 out in the ninth. Runners at second and third. We're tied at 2. Monarchs hoping to walk off here in the ninth. Robert Bell focusing in. So too is Nick Smith, the right-handed pitcher. The 3-2. And a line drive to right that's getting down for a base hit. And that's going to do it. Robert Bell with a walk-off RBI single. And the Lake Erie Monarchs will get their 4th win in the last 6 games. And 2 straight at home. Final score, Monarchs 3 and the Graders 2. Robert Bell drives in his 11th run of the season. And on Independence Day, the Monarchs provide the fireworks with the walk-off single, which was the 10th hit of the night for Lake Erie, as they get it done in the ninth, 3-2. What a win for the Monarchs. They improved to 8-13 on the season. While the Galleon Graders, they suffer their 7th straight loss and are now 9-11. They will be ready to get out of town. They'll host the Richmond Jazz on Friday after a day off tomorrow. Lake Erie Monarchs will continue this season-long 6-game homestand as they welcome in the Irish Hills Leprechauns. Another divisional matchup coming up tomorrow night, 7:05 will be the first pitch here from Flat Rock Field. But the Monarchs, they get it done here tonight. That is big news for Tim Brown and his club, as they will most certainly remember this victory. A walk-off RBI single hit by Robert Bell gets it done on a 3-2 pitch. Monarchs score 3 runs on 10 hits. They commit no errors today, and they leave 9 men on the base paths. While on the other side of things, for the Galleon Graders, they strand 7 men on base. They score 2 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. They come up short on the scoreboard here today as the Monarchs get it done. Well, what a night this was for baseball. We really appreciate you tuning in to Monarchs baseball here tonight. We look forward to seeing Galleon once again later on down the road and hoping that they're in a little better state. Things are tough right now for the graders, and that's the way it goes sometimes, the phases of baseball, and they're going through one of those. But what a night that it was as the Monarchs win it by a final count of 3-2. We appreciate you all tuning in to this Monarchs broadcast here on monarchsradio.com, watching us live with the camera, albeit maybe a little bit on an angle at times. But we hope you enjoyed the shots and also the accounts and descriptions provided by me, Kevin Peel. So blessed to be on the call and giving you the action here tonight. One final time, the Lake Erie Monarchs, they will be 2-0 on this homestand, and they get ready to host the Irish Hills Leprechauns for the next 2 days. They win it by a final count of 3-2. So I'm Kevin Peel saying good night from Flat Rock Field here in Flat Rock, Michigan. You have been watching and listening to Lake Erie Monarchs baseball on monarchsradio.com. Have a great night, everyone.